I don't know if you follow like the GATE program at all, like from the
You mentioned that
80s.
earlier now.
I think you would find that really fascinating. There was a program that was held that's sort of adjacent to MK Ultra that's
Hmm.
called the GATE program, which we know today is like gifted and talented education. So we think of it as this very benign thing. It's just like the bright kids go into that.
So anybody who's listening to this right now, you're just talking about how they tested you with, they showed you the pictures with like a shape on them or something, and you had to like tell them what you thought it was or whatever, right? Is that
Yeah,
what
I'll tell you
that's what we're
exactly
talking about?
what
That's
happened. It
right.
was like I was in elementary school, and I remember one day I was called out of class. There was like, I remember it as there being some kind of announcement at school that might have been like sort of like a heads up kind of announcement. Maybe it was from the
Hmm.
principal, somebody to like, just so you know, there's going to be some testing going on at school today, and you may be called out of class. It was that kind of a vibe. And then it was
Hmm.
like I was in my class. I want to say I was in probably like fourth grade, and I was called out in the middle of class, which I thought was weird. And I remember my teacher, kind of her face, like kind of like being surprised, is like, we got called, like the call came in, and it wasn't like the whole class went. I feel like maybe there was me and one other, like a girl that was in the class that got called out. And somebody walked us down to a small room that I had always passed going to lunch. And I thought it was like a supply closet, you know? And there was somebody standing in the doorway. There was this woman who was standing in the doorway. She was like dressed, you know, like a professional lady, you know?
Hmm.
She was not giving like school nurse vibe. She was not giving teacher vibe. She was like a professional person. They're like,
Hmm.
okay, you're going to take a test in here. And I remember walking in and being like, what is this room even? I don't even like, and there was like a little table set, like a little desk set up. And she sat down with me and she was like, okay, we're going to do we're going to be looking at these pictures. And I just wanted you to tell me what you see when you look at these pictures. I remember them sort of like a Rorschach test, like an ink blot test, right? And I would see things in them. You know, I would see, I don't know what I would see. I'd see a bat, or I would see an angel, or I would see, you know,
Hmm.
and I was telling her this, and she was like making notes. And I felt like I was kind of like winning. Like I felt like it was kind of like a game. And I was like, oh my God, I'm good at this. And so then we finished that portion. And she's like, okay, you're going to go to the next thing.